Alright, what's up YouTube? Welcome to my first video in a very long time, and the first video of essentially the BMW E38 Restoration. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinions, this is the greatest luxury sedan ever made. Either, between this or maybe the Mercedes S-Class of the time, also from this era. This car would not be nearly as great if it wasn't for that S-Class, and the S-Class would never have been as good as it was if it wasn't for BMW in the 7 Series. Alright, so this car is a 1998 model. I know they came out with the facelift in 1998. This is the pre-facelift, so early half of 1998 7 Series. And essentially you have a lot of engine options in the 7 Series. You had a 2.8 liter inline 6, and then the early V8s were a 3 liter V8, and then they bumped it up to the M62, which is the 3.5 liter V8. And then the new M60 was a 4 liter V8, and then the final evolution of the V8 motor was a 4.4 M62 V8. And then you had your diesel options, an inline 6 diesel, a V8 diesel, and then the top of the line, the top model, if you're wanting to drop $100,000 back in the 1990s, is your V12, essentially. It is the evolution of the M70 V12. This is the M73, 5.4 liters, 2 valves per cylinder, nothing crazy. Alright, here's a closer look at that 12 cylinder. Again, this is still essentially just the evolution of the M70, so it's a very simple motor. A lot of people actually, joke about this being just 2 inline 6s stitched together. You might be wondering, why am I filming in the middle of the night? Why am I filming in a parking lot? A couple of reasons. It's kind of funny. Scheduling issue, as well as living situation. So I do live in a neighborhood. So if I want to film videos, I do have to be mindful of others. I hate filming in front of other people, neighbors being out, and I'm like, they're wanting to check out the car, or I'm trying to film something, or someone's watching me while I'm trying to film. It's just kind of awkward, And secondly, I work nights, so I sleep during the day. So it's my night off right now, and if I was filming a video in my driveway, making a ton of noise in the middle of the night, some people might have a problem with that. Another reason being in the parking lot, if I need to jack the vehicle up for any reason, which we are in this video, we'll get there when we get there. I have to do it here on a flat area. I need to find a flat spot to jack the vehicle up, of course. You can't do it on a hill, and my driveway is a hill. It is very steep, so I can't jack the vehicle up there. I do have some ramps, but that's not going to work today. We do need to jack the vehicle up. I don't want to say the reason why. It's kind of a surprise at the end of the video, but yeah. So another reason to be in the parking lot. Alright, moving on to the fun stuff back here. We have our parts in the vehicle. Where's a good spot to put this camera? I don't know. Maybe right here. Essentially, we have Christmas morning going on over here. And like any traditional Christmas, we will start with these stocking stuffers. First piece on the list is a V12 badge. Now, when the BMW E32 came out, which is the 7 Series before this one, it was the first BMW to have a V12 since World War II. They were pretty big about showing it off. Actually, the V12 E32 has had different exhaust tips, so you can tell how it's a V12 from the rear. And it also had a V12 emblem on the back, this very one. Now, when this generation 7 Series came out, they were more discreet. They didn't want to show that this is like, oh, like a sports car, or it's supposed to be loud, obnoxious. The exhaust is actually hidden. It's a hidden exhaust. Every 7 Series is like this, and a lot of them didn't have the V12 emblem on it. I rarely see a 750IL, which is the V12 E38, have a V12 emblem. And I do, I'm not gonna lie, like to show it off a little bit, want to let people know what I got underneath the hood. So I got from TurnerMotorsports.com. If you're a BMW owner, you should be very familiar with Turner. If you're not, then get familiar with them. But I got V12 emblem, which we're going to put, it belongs on the opposite side of the 750IL. I have V12 right there. Let's get to it. Perfect. I think we actually nailed this. I've never really put emblems or badges on a car before. Well, actually, I do at work quite a bit, where you have a fixture. Put the fixture on and the badge goes right, and like you can't mess it up. But doing it outside of work, like on my own vehicles or anything, where that was such a janky setup right there using these stickers. Don't have a lot of experience doing that, so I'm glad I'm gonna step back, make sure. I probably should have stepped back and looked at it before I pressed it down, but I think it's good. Oh yeah, I think we nailed it. I think we freaking nailed it. Oh yeah, V12 baby. Alright, next up on the list, we're going to choose a big present. As you can see, I've already kind of dug in here. We have a brand new, can you see it? We have a brand new, well not brand new, but brand used, what did you call it? Armrest. And it's the same one, the phone goes in the middle. We will transfer that one over. As you can see, the whole interior is gray on the bottom, black on top with wood trim. I think we can actually get away. With putting a black armrest there, because that one is worn to pieces. So let's get to it. Okay, now that I'm inside the vehicle, I'm gonna show you all a little more what I'm talking about here. So I know there isn't a big reveal, but this is the third modification. Well, the V12 badge isn't really a modification. This is a restoration, although it's not the original color. This is our first modification. Now, right here is the ashtray. It was broken. Well, actually, yeah, it's still broken. I'm able to like close it now, but these are known to break, and it's kind of hard to tell. But this goes down when I close it, and this doesn't work. The previous owner said he fixed it, like wired it back up, but it doesn't work at all. And oh, actually, this is kind of coming off right now. But anyway, this, if you're an E38 owner, you can order these for like 30 bucks. It goes right there. Like, it fits perfectly right there. And you can rewire it up to this right here, and you have a phone charger. And the reason why you would want to do that, one, this breaks all the time. Mine's broken. Two, this breaks all the time. Mine's broken as well. Even if this doesn't work, even if this isn't broken, it doesn't work too good. These are like the worst cup holders of all time. If I accelerate just a little bit, this is flipping back and spilling everywhere. If I turn just a little bit, it is flipping over and spilling everywhere. And then on top of that, yes, it does break. Let me put that aside. This one won't close. It just stays open. And then on top of that, this just falls out. It is a piece of crap. It is expensive-ish to fix, hard to fix, and when you do fix it, it's going to break again, so what's the point? So we have a 2-in-1 modification right here. We have deeper cup holders here. Broken ashtray is gone. I mean, hopefully you're not smoking at all in your vehicle, so we don't want the ashtray. We could have something more useful and put cup holders there. And then we could take all this out and have free space to just put other stuff here. So anyway, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, I'm not really going to film like how to do all this because I essentially can't work with one hand and film with the other. But I will explain some bits, kind of the order how to go and things. Of course, I'm going to... Oh man, what's going on here? I'm going to disconnect this phone. See, I can't even do this with one hand. You need like two hands to do this. Disconnect this phone. I'm going to pry this piece off right here, and then I'll just skip to the next bit, show you where I go from there. Alright, after doing that, we have two screws. What was it? Phillips screws exposed, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those two screws. It was actually quite simple. So once you remove those two Phillips, oh look at this, we got some parts disintegrating on us, which happens a lot in this car. Old plastic pieces, you take them apart and things just explode into just a ton of little pieces. Oh wow, this is crumbling in my hand, that's crazy. But anyway, remove those two Phillips screws, then you can just pull it right out. It's upside down right now because can't pull it out completely yet. You got the wiring to the phone right here, so let me flip this over again. Disconnected, no, you can't see anything. Disconnected one already, that's just a twist off, and then the other one, I think it's easier to flip upside down. Can't really do it with two hands, but this one right here, there's a connection under here. Disconnect that, and this should just pop off. Then we'll be ready to put on the black one. Alright, this is where you should be at right now. This is the, put this flashlight down. This is the connection I was talking about. It's just a lever connection, and then this is like, you know how this goes, similar to like a cable TV or telephone line. Spin off, pretty simple. Now I just got to figure out how to transfer this, with my fingers on, that wire over, because our new one doesn't have it. That's basically the charger to the phone. Alright, so you might think, let's just go ahead and put the new one on now, right? But actually, and you might be able to tell where I'm going with this, this exposes these two screws here, which is how we're going to take this wood piece off here so we can install our cup holder. So we're going to go ahead and take those off, and I actually don't know the rest of this process. I know, like, we take the shifter off, and I doubt there's any other screws that we'll need to access, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm gonna cut the video to it. I was actually mistaken. There were these two, and then there was some right here, as you can see, and then I got this all loosened up because this is gonna have to go around that. This is such a terrible splice job. You see that? What is going on there? So I'm gonna have to cut these and re-splice it to the new cup holder. Now, what's going on here? I was trying to remove this. I got it removed now, and I accidentally popped this off. It's not broken, luckily. I'm surprised I didn't break the little black like clips right here. But I just got that folded up out of the way. There's some connections we have to disconnect here for the shift indicator, and then the automatic and manual switch right here. And once I do that, I'll do it off camera, and then you just pull this off. Then I think the rest of this will be ready to take off. I will see you then. Alright, so I disconnected these two right here, and this car keeps on surprising me. There's some more wiring there that I'm kind of afraid to try to disconnect, but we may not need to. So we got two more screws right here, one here and one, on the other side right there. I take those off, and I think we can take this off and just slide it through, or slide this through here and take it off. Alright, the hard part was done. I was able to get this out without cracking the wood. That is hard part number one. Hard part number two is installing it back in when we're done without cracking the wood. Now, someone has obviously been in here. I'm assuming it's the previous owner that fixed the cigarette lighter because it was, I should have filmed it before I cleaned a little bit of it out, but it was, there was just garbage in here. Underneath the center console was garbage. There was some candy wrappers and there's just tons of like crap. I don't know. So I'm assuming he had it off, and he had it off for a while and just lived his life. You know, I know he had kids, you know, so just had this off for a while exposed for stuff to just build up over time. It's really messed up. But yeah, I'm gonna clean in here. I got one more, or I guess two more things to disconnect there. How to disconnect all this, all that, and then I don't even know how that cup holder is supposed to be installed in here. There's no how-to video or anything on it, but it shouldn't be that hard to figure it out. So I will cut to the chase. Alright, I know I created a huge mess here, but we are ready to reassemble everything. Good news is I don't have to splice any wires. This actually connects right up to here. I was wondering what this light came with a connector on it. I thought it would involve some wire splicing, but I'm gonna throw all this back together, and I'm gonna actually cut to the very end where this is all assembled and cleaned up and looking the way it should look, because it is a friggin' mess in here. And boom, just like that, we have the cup holder installed. Fits a drink perfectly, and look at this. It is not going anywhere, like, not spilling at all. With this, install went well. It is functional and everything, slides all the way back. Did make a little mistake, and it's easily fixed. I'm gonna do it off camera. The phone does not fit into this one. Through the lifespan of the E38, there's like 3 different phones, and I thought I got the cup holder, or excuse me, the cup holder, the armrest that goes with this phone. I don't, but I'm just going to transfer this part from the last one onto this one. It's an easy fix. In fact, these got to come out anyway. These, on the old one and this new one, these are falling apart. I can take this out really easily, and it exposes some screws and everything. But it is cracking. It is getting like kind of sticky, like the clear finisher or whatever is on these, like, just gets sticky over time. It's horrible. Anyway, just like how this is 3D printed and aftermarket, there is aftermarket inserts for this right here that is not made of whatever this is. It is a lot better. It should last forever. In fact, there is a whole aftermarket armrest that deletes the phone, so you have more storage area. It's one big storage thing that opens up, but we're not doing that. We're going to keep this original, at least the phone. So all this is going to get cleaned up, and I'm going to get this back in here working and everything. I'll show that at the end of this video. I should have that complete. And don't forget, y'all, with cup holders in a car, you can, just for a few dollars, pick up some, does it even say it on here? I don't know. Some cup holder, like coasters for the bottom of your cup holders to protect them. These ones fit actually perfectly. Put one there, and then get the other one. Put it right there. Just so you know, the condensation, the bottom of like cold drinks, as well as like things you throw in here like coins and stuff, build up this grime that gets really hard and hard to clean over time. So, and there's some out here that you can get, like BMW, Rondell, or whatever your car's manufacturer is, if you want something like that. I just like to keep it black and kind of keep it blend in. But yeah, those fit quite nice. And again, actually it helps with the rattling sound you have when it drinks in here and it's rattling up against the cup holder. So little things like that help a lot. They're quite cool. The next thing we have up on the menu today, let's look in present number 3. Kidney grills. Like I said, the kidney grills on this car are kind of broken. These ones our aftermarket, and these aren't chrome like the original ones, so I guess this is technically a modification rather than a restoration. These are all black, like matte black. I don't know how that'll look. I can always change them back to chrome ones, but should be easy install. Now actually, this may not be an easy install because, well, I'll just go to the front of the car and show you. The hood lever is in the kidney grill, is right there. And the aftermarket, does the aftermarket even have that little insert for the hood lever? Let me see here. I don't think so. That's gonna be really strange. I'm gonna cut to where I figure that out and see what we can do about that. Alright, so newsflash, it does fit. Here's the old one. I think the original chrome probably does look a little better, but these broken grills weren't gonna last forever, so they had to be changed out. If and when these ever break on me, we'll probably go back to chrome. But yeah, this still works. When the hood's down, this would be more tucked back, so it should still be fairly hidden. I'm not too worried about that. Let me just go ahead. Oh, by the way, this one was held in by one zip tie. All the zip ties were broken or fallen off or whatever, and there was one more on the right side that was hanging this front left grill in. But yeah, we're gonna change this out, close the hood, and see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I was gonna save this part for the end. You see how dark those grills are, and then look at our plastic trim, is how faded it is. Well, we have a solution to that. We have, what is this, Armor All? A knockoff, whatever. There's so many different brands. We're gonna apply that and all the plastic trim and darken that up, and that's gonna make, I think, the kidney grills stand out a lot less. That black does not look bad at all. I'm pretty happy with that. I was afraid, like, oh crap, we messed up when we didn't go with the original chrome. But yeah, that black's looking good. Oh yeah, I'm happy about that. Alright guys, what do you think is left in the presents? That's empty. That's empty. This is empty. Oh wait, what do we have here? Cool guys, look at this. We have little BMW Rondell stem caps. That's interesting. Huh. Have I showed y'all the wheels on here? I'm not that impressed. So these are aftermarket rims by Bayern. They're actually from the same region that BMW is from. That's why they have that the little flag emblem. Yeah. Well, what if I said I have a little surprise for y'all over here? What do we have under the blanket, you might be wondering? Boom. The original rims and brand new tires for this vehicle. So I don't have it on video. I'll put some pictures up, but the original rims were not looking too good for these. I got them restored. And also the tires were bald on here. And the tires on here are currently bald, like really, really bad, like dangerous to drive in the rain. So we are gonna throw these bad boys on. That's why I brought the jack with me. That's why I needed to be in a flat area. Alright, it is the next morning, and here are the wheels. I did put some tire shine on it, as well as I did apply the trim restore to the black trim, so it is looking a lot darker and a lot better. I went ahead and applied some tire shine onto 340i as well. It's looking quite nice. I tried it on this car first before I went ahead and did it to the E38. Yeah, these tires are, the wheels are smaller, so the tires are quite a bit bigger, and that made the ride a whole lot smoother. These are the tires and wheels that belong on this vehicle. Here it is back here. Obviously the hubcaps are not looking too good. Let me show you these. So I tried cleaning these up and they're just disintegrating basically. So obviously they would not, it's not been locking in properly, but let's just pretend. Actually, it doesn't look bad on video, but in person, this stands out from the wheel a lot. So I gotta get new hubcaps. You can see closer up how bad they look. So right now we're just gonna go no hubcaps. I did clean that up a little bit with a wide brush, but it still looks pretty bad in there. From distance it's okay though. I added the BMW Car Club of America decal on there. That's what I used to have on my E30. The cars are wet right now because I just washed them, but here are the products I use. This is the black trim restorer, and this is what I use for the wheels, Armor All. High gloss tire shine, hybrid ceramic. It's like a Red Bull Formula 1 edition. Quite nice. In fact, let me put this back in here. Again, here are the detail with the emblem I added. This is to recap the center console or the armrests, install, and cup holders. One thing I want to do soon is actually I'll probably do this today after I'm done filming this video, is tape this off and paint this. These fade really quickly and they're like almost white. They're light pink. So doing little details like that make a car a lot better. Grill's looking quite nice. Here are the wheels I took off. You can see they are cracking. They are extremely shallow, and I'm just gonna sell them. The money I get from these will just go towards the vehicle. Anyway, if you enjoy this type of content, then make sure you leave a like and maybe consider subscribing, because I will be doing more things with the E38 here. So anyway, see you next time.